Making sacrifices on semen retention. You're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices on semen retention, bro. You can't do the same old thing that you was doing when you was relapsing. You got to make a lot of sacrifices. You got to have discipline. You got to limit yourself from certain things and certain people and certain places. When you on semen retention, you can't go to the same places. And what I mean by that, going over chick's house, trying to smash, nah. You got to make sacrifices, man, on semen retention. You guys got to understand that, man. To become a better man, I'm making sacrifices. I chose to cut women completely off and do semen retention and stay focused on my purpose. My purpose is manifesting slowly, but surely, because I'm making sacrifices. I'm not, really in tune with my family like that as much as social as I was, because right now I am, I had to make that sacrifice. I chose to do YouTube and do semen retention. So they understand that I have to make a sacrifice. Not communicating with them as much. You gotta make sacrifices, man, on this journey. But it's all worth it in the end when you want semen retention. Because you gonna be what you planned it out to be on semen retention. It's gonna give you that focus. You're gonna understand yourself a lot more. You're gonna be able to control yourself a lot more. And if you control yourself, you can control your life. You can control what direction you want to take it. You gotta make a lot of sacrifices on this journey. When a woman try to hit you up, start sexting you, texting you nasty stuff, you gotta, you gotta not entertain that. You might have to change the subject or whatever, or cut off completely, because it's something much greater that you're trying to accomplish in life. You gotta make a lot of sacrifices on this journey if you want to become that virile man that's amongst men. I'm willing to make the sacrifices. Are you willing to make the sacrifices? Because now at this point, I'm too far gone now. I've started my purpose, and I'm too deep in. I'm disciplined. I'm willing to keep making those sacrifices, because I know it's going to help me in the long run. It's going to get me much further in life. I was tired of just working a regular job, coming home, and doing nothing. I was wasting my time. I wasted my time enough. Now, I am valuing my time, and I am doing something productive, and something that's important that's going to help me. I'm not trying to hit chicks up on social media, and try to come and smash no more. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm just not doing it, period. I chose to make a sacrifice. I chose to, sacrifice that. Not hitting females up, letting them waste my time, playing, mind games with them and stuff like that. That's to try to get them where I want them. I'm done with that, because I found my purpose. Sacrifice is going, you got to have a strong mind to make sacrifices. Because if you don't, it's not going to work. You got to have discipline to make sacrifices. And plus, too, with sacrifices, what I mean by having a strong mind, if you are addicted to something, you got to just, you got to just cut it off right then and there. Like, you just got to be able to cut stuff off that you once were kind of like addicted to, or you might be you might be wanting to do. You want to do a lot. You just got to cut it off. That's a sign of strength. That's a strong mind. And make those sacrifices so you can, stay on one accord and get where you're trying to be at in life. Are you guys willing to make these sacrifices? I'm not letting my seed out no more. I'm making that sacrifice. I'm not doing that no more. Yeah, I used to watch porn videos as well too. I used to watch it, but I cut it off. I've shown my sign of strength. I do that no more. I rather do YouTube videos. That don't fill the void in my life. Watching videos. This camera right here, and me talking to you guys, that's what fills the void in my life and helping you guys. You got to be that dude that's willing to stand out. That's willing to make the sacrifices. Yes, you're going to go through something when you make a sacrifice because you might go through pain. But you know that something greater is up ahead. You might not want to cut off your friends and family. You might not want to be alone all the time. Or, most of the time. But you're going to have to make that sacrifice. I made a sacrifice to be alone to find out who I really am as a person. And I found myself in the process. I found my purpose in the process as well. And the sacrifice was worth it. Because I had to cut off everybody off. Had to cut the TV off. I don't have no TV in my room. I had to just sit in here and think year after year about who I am. Who I am inside. Who I can help. Who I can touch. Who I can change, their mind. Who I can motivate to wanting to become a better person. And it led me to this. Teach you guys about semen retention in women. I made sacrifices. I had to put the reaction videos down. That wasn't my purpose. YouTube shut my other channel down. That was the sacrifice to get to where I am now. Teaching. Instead of watching, YouTube videos, reaction videos. That wasn't my purpose. But that was a sacrifice. I put all that time into those videos. I had over 1,000 videos. My other channel was Enlightened One, if you didn't know. And then it got shut down. But, I made that sacrifice. I said, you know what? Maybe that's not my purpose. And I found semen retention. And teach you guys that this is real. This can get you somewhere in life. This can help you out. This can feed your family. This can feed you. This will get you out of poverty. This will get you out of a bad temper. This will put you in a calm state, a humble state. This will make you a virile man that is amongst men. Are you willing to make that sacrifice? You have to ask yourself that. Because I am. I'm ready and willing to go the extra mile. I'm willing to go as far as I can take it. Just to reach my destiny. Because I know that my destiny is my success. It is my prize. Hope you guys got something about this. You got to make sacrifices to get where you want to be at. I've cut women off. I don't have no TV in my room. I've been to have no TV in my room. because I knew that it's a bunch of bull. It's a distraction. I was once like addicted to that TV, watching TV, but I had to make advice. You guys gotta make sacrifices, fella. Y'all fellas gotta start making sacrifices. Y'all keep letting these females, you know, well, y'all, I'm gonna say y'all keep